Hello guys, I'm Rakshit from Team Let's Learn. We have Naresh here who is going to give his mock interview today for Anglo Eastern. So we are going to focus mostly on Rishi Rana sir questions. So Naresh, can you give me first of all a self-introduction?
Sure, sir. My name is Naresh Rajendra Lohar, and I am currently living at Kalyan with my family. I have completed my 10th from local school of Siddharth Vidya Mandir with 74 percentile, and my diploma in mechanical engineering from Mumbai University with 66 percentile, and my degree in same field mechanical engineering from Mumbai University with 74.40 percentile. And apart from my education qualification, currently I'm now working with a well-known organization that is Connected Industries Private Limited from last 1.5 years. And I'm working there as a junior engineer. And during my professional life, I as a team and we as a team have participated in multiple national level competitions arranged by the CII, that is a Confederation of Indian Industry. It is an Indian body. They conduct multiple national level competition among industries, and we have participated in them, and we have won multiple platinum, gold, and silver level awards for our multiple projects. And apart from my professional life and my hobbies are like I also love to ride bike in hot areas in rainy season. So that's all about me, sir.
Okay. Okay, Naresh, when did you pass out?
Sir, I passed out in year 2022.
Okay. How come you didn't join Merchant Navy before? Why after so much time?
Sir, I think after the completion of my degree, there was slightly money problem, and I myself think that I should not burden my parents with my education loan, with my education rupee. So that's why I have decided to work part-time and work full-time for this 1.5 years. And after my working qualification, I think now I have some amount of money that I can invest on myself. So that's the main reason that I was working from last 1.5 to and now I'm currently focusing on merchant because now I think I have that amount of that type of money which I can submit for my next career.
Okay, Naresh, why do you want to join Merchant Navy and why particularly Anglo Eastern?
Well, sir, basically, there is my uncle. There are my uncle who are currently in merchant navy, and I respect them a lot because of their work, professional work life, and I see them as my mentor. And they are the reason and that's their life, they are the reason because I want to join my merchant navy and Anglo Eastern specifically because what my friends have suggested, like some of my friends have joined other colleges and they have suggested me Anglo Eastern, and about from my own research I think that Anglo Eastern is the best, gives a world best class facility for the learning student, and it also gives us sponsorship, and their teacher are very then their teacher have very good education qualification, and I think that my career would be good if I join and initiate my career from the Anglo Eastern.
Any other college sponsorship you applied?
Well, yes, sir. I have applied recently my ACI sponsorship. I have cleared their exam and given their interview in last week, sir.
And Naresh, can you tell me when were you anxious last time?
Sir, anxious last time. It was about 1.5 year ago. 1 year ago, actually. It was the moment, actually, I have told you earlier. We, in my professional life, we have participated in multiple championship, but that was my actually first championship when my manager told me that I myself, Naresh, has to present my turn project in front of a whole committee at a national level championship. That was the moment when I was more anxious. But my manager supported me. They told me all of the things they teach me, and with their help, I was able to uh, get free from that moment. And that's the project in which I have got a platinum award.
Okay. Can you explain me the project?
Sure, sir. Well, first of all, I would like to tell you about my company in which I am currently working. My company's name is Connectual Industries Private Limited. It is basically a company which manufactures a terminal block. Well, terminal block is a device which we install in control panel for the safeguard of our control panel basically. In that there is a component known as clamping U, and that clamp U current bar uh, manufactures in a biller machine. That biller machine is basically a German made machine which has a very high performance. It has basically a performance of up to 350 part per minute. But as you know, to manufacture this product, we have to feed it some of one type of raw material, that is CRCA coil. So there was around 25 to 27 minutes of raw material changeover time on that baler machine. If we talk about that machine has simply a speed of 350 part per minute, and if I am daily wasting my 23 to 27 minutes in a single shift, 8 hour of shift, we have to perform 6 to 7 such of the changeover. Due to this changeover, we are having our lack of oil, and it was hampering about 23% of our overall equipment efficiency. So to reduce that loss, that was our main motto. So to reduce those loss, we have first of all analyzed that loss. We have taken a VTR, that is video tape record, and analyze and writing down some of the activities, and we perform then ECRS analysis, that is eliminate, combine, rearrange, and simplify. These are the activities which we perform on that. And after performing those activities and multiple kaizens, we managed to reduce that 23 to 27 minutes of time to the only 9.5, 9.3 minutes. But as I have told you earlier, there was 6 to 7 number of changeover in a single shift. So even if it's time of a 9.5 or 9.3 minutes, it was also hampering us as the machine speed of was 350 part per minute. So to we again come up with brainstorming, how can we reduce the number of instances? So we use a bigger amount of coil, bigger kg size of coil. Before we were using a 60 kg of coil for a 1 ton, and after our brainstorming, we discussed with our supplier for a higher amount of kg. That now currently we are using 300 kg of coil, and that coil has been lasting us for up to 1.5 of the shift. So the instances has been reduced to zero indirectly for a single shift, and all of the losses that we were accumulating for keeping in mind of machine performance, that is 350 part per minute, that is fully eliminated. So that was our project by which we were able to increase our overall efficiency of our machine, and it was applicable for up to 4 baler machines. So it has definitely increased our company's overall efficiency. And when we present our project to CII body, that's the project in which we got our platinum also.
Okay. Okay, I think we can move on to the technical questions now.
Sure, sir.
Okay. How do we come to know if VCRS system has moisture in it?
Sir, actually, there are multiple ways by which we can identify if there is a moisture in our in our VCRS system. Basically, there we will be a pressure drop will be identified in our system, which will reduce our overall efficiency, by which we can identify there is moisture in system. After that, there is side glass present on the liquid line, which will change its color whenever there is a liquid identifies in our system. I think these are some of the reasons by which we can identify the moisture can be in the system.
Okay. And why is freezing taking place in evaporator coil if it happens?
Yes, sir.
Like freezing. Imagine
Yes,
freezing.
sir.
Freezing is happening in the evaporator coil. Why do you think that happens?
If there is, yes, sir, if there is a moisture present in evaporator coil, that's the one of the reason
Okay.
there will be a freezing in evaporator coil. Even if our thermostatic expansion valve has malfunction and it is not giving some amount of refrigerant to the uh, evaporator coil. That can be a reason. Freezing can be occur on evaporator coil. Even if our surrounding air has some of the restriction, that can be reason. If the surrounding air temperature is too low, that can be one of the reason of accumulating freezing on evaporator coil.
Okay.
If also even if there are dirty or block coils in evaporator coil itself. That also can be reason, sir.
Can you tell me the parts of diesel engine?
Sure, sir. Talking about diesel engine has multiple important parts. According to me, there is entablature, bed plate, then sump of oil, crankshaft, connecting rod, crosshead bearing, stuffing box, piston rod, piston head, piston pin or gudgeon pin, piston ring, cylinder liner, inlet port, outlet port, fuel injectors, camshaft, timing chain. These are some of the important parts of the diesel engine, sir.
Okay. Since you mentioned piston ring, what are piston ring and what's its function?
Sir, piston ring is basically a split type ring which is installed on a cylinder head grooves. The its material is a cast iron. The main function of piston ring is to seal the combustion gases generated in a combustion chamber. There are mainly two type of ring, that is a compression ring and oil scraper ring. Compression ring basically seals the gap between cylinder liner and piston. It also improves the emission of heat from the piston assembly. And after that comes the oil scraper ring. It scraps the excessive oil from the cylinder liner. It maintains the proper lubrication between cylinder liner and piston itself.
Okay. Can you tell me the VCRS components?
Sure, sir. In a VCRS system, there are main four important components, that is compressor, condenser, thermostatic expansion valve, and evaporator coil. Along with that, there are some of the auxiliary components like sensing bulb and dryer and a capillary tube which is connected from sensing bulb to thermostatic expansion valve. Along with this auxiliary component, there are some of the safety components also, like low pressure cut-in cutout, high pressure cut-in cutout, low lube oil pressure cutout, oil heater, and relief valve. These are the some of the components of VCRS system, sir.
Okay, tell me the working of VCRS cycle.
Sure, sir. In a VCRS system, low pressure and low temperature vapor gets into the compressor. As compressor operates, it's convert the low pressure, low temperature vapor into the high pressure, high temperature superheated vapor. As this high temperature, high pressure superheated vapor enters into the condenser acts as an heat exchanger, and it ejects the heat from refrigerator into surrounding, converting the form of superheated vapor refrigerant into pure saturated liquid refrigerant, which reduce temperature and keeping pressure constant. After the condenser, this pure saturated liquid refrigerant gets into the dryer, which removes the moisture from our pure liquid refrigerant. After this, it enter into the thermostatic expansion valve. As we know, the thermostatic expansion valve has a design like an orifice. Due to sudden expansion in volume, the pressure drop take place, and the pure liquid saturated refrigerant liquid converts into the liquid plus vapor refrigerant. This liquid plus vapor refrigerant then enters into the evaporator coil. After getting into evaporator coil, the absorption of heat takes place in evaporator coil, and the liquid plus vapor mixture, low pressure, low temperature liquid plus vapor mixture gets converted into the vapor mixture. And during exiting, the sensing bulb detects that only the vapor should be get out from the evaporator coil. If there is presence of liquid in evaporator coil, the sensing bulb will actuate the thermostatic expansion valve with the help of capillary action. There should be no liquid go into compressor to avoid any damage to your compressor, as the liquid has property of its incompressibility. That's
Okay,
the overall cycle of our VCR system, sir.
okay. Can you tell me some boiler mountings?
Sure, sir. Boiler mounting are the parts which are very necessary for the very operation of boiler. It safeguard our boiler from multiple implosions and explosion. There are multiple boiler mounting like steam stop valve, field check valve, safety valve, relief valve, scum blow down valve, boiler blow down valve, uh, field check valve, and fusible plug. These are the and manhole. These are the multiple boiler mounting that should be compulsory use on a boiler for the safeguard of our boiler.
Okay, since you mentioned fusible plug, can you tell me its working?
Sure, sir. Fusible plug is basically installed on a crown of our boiler. It is made up of mainly two parts. The outer part is made up of brass, and inner part is made up of low melting material. That can be alloy tin, which has a melting point of up to 232 degrees Celsius. Mainly, it is used in an internally fired boiler. If our water level drops due to any sudden reasons, as water level drops, there will be generation of steam in our boiler. As the steam has a higher temperature than that of water, the steam will melt our material inside the fusible plug. As the material inside the fusible plug will melt, the outside water will fall on our boiler furnace and it will extinguish it, resulting into safeguarding of our boiler.
Okay. Can you tell me the type of refrigerants that we use now in ship?
Sure, sir. Mainly R134A, that is tetrafluoroethane, is one of the refrigerant that we currently use on marine ships. Along with that, R744, that is ammonia, and R717, that is carbon dioxide, is used in marine ships. If we talk about domestic, then R134A, again that is tetrafluoroethane, is used in our refrigerator. Along with it, R32, that is bifluoromethane, and R600A, that is isobutane. These are some of the refrigerant that is used in marine and domestic refrigerants.
Can you tell me the parts of centrifugal pump?
Yes, sir. Talking about centrifugal pumps are the devices which flow the fluid from one place to another. Talking about centrifugal pump, it has multiple parts, mainly talking. If we initiate from the bottom side, it has first of our sump of liquid, then strainer, which does not allow any debris to enter into our system. After that, switch check valve, which is also a type of non-return type valve. Then eye of impeller, where suction take place. A shaft is connected to eye of impeller. There, as the shaft is connected to a IF impeller, there will be a gap between casing and shaft. To avoid that gap, there can be a packing. The packing can be gland type or mechanical type. After the IF impeller, there will be backward curve blades and increasingly involute casing. After the casing, there will be discharge pipe and discharge valve, and also there will be a priming port will be installed on our centrifugal pump.
Okay. Additionally, if you want, you can tell bearings also, but just see what type of bearings it's used. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the working of an alternator?
Yes, sir. Basically, alternator is a device which converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Basically, if you want to generate electricity, either we have to rotate the coil with respect to magnetic field or vice versa. In terms of alternator, the magnetic field rotate with respect to coil. In alternator, there are mainly two important components, that is rotor and stator. The rotor is connected to the pinion gear, which is connected to a crankshaft. As the crankshaft rotates, with the help of pinion gear, rotor start to rotate and it generates its own magnetic field. As this magnetic field gets in contact our outer armature coil, there will be a induce of current, and this induced current is a AC type of current. There will be a set of diode assembly which we call as rectifier, which will convert this AC current into DC current, and this DC current will be used in our further operations.
Okay. Can you tell me different NDT methods?
Yes, sir. Basically, NDT is an acronym for a non-destructive type of testing. In this non-destructive type of testing, we test the parameters like cracks, porosity, flaws on our object. There are different type of NDT methods. First of all, is a visual method, then eddy current testing, dye penetration testing, magnetic particle testing, ultrasonic testing. These are the some of the non-destructive type of testing we use to identify any flaws on our object.
Okay. Explain dye penetration testing.
Sure, sir. In the dye presentation testing, first of all, we have to clean our object with the help of a smooth cotton. After the cleaning of our cotton, we will apply a dye. After applying of dye, we will clean the surface. If there is any cracks or flaws present in our system, the dye will go inside that crack. After the polishing, when we check our objects with the help of UV light, the portion having the dye inside will get lighten up, indicating there is a crack or porosity or flaw in our object.
Can you repeat that again?
Sure, sir. In dye penetration testing, we use a dye. Basically, dye is red in color to check if there is any cracks, flaw, porosity in our. For the step one, we clean our object. After cleaning, we apply a dye on our object. After applying the dye evenly on our object, we clean out dye. And if there are any cracks or flaws present in our system, the dye will get into that cracks and accumulate there. And we can, with as the dye is red in color, we can clearly see the dye on our object. This will indicate the flaws or cracks on our object.
We can additionally say that a developer is used to find out if any, like, this red dye won't be visible that much. So basically, a
Okay.
developer is mostly white in color. So it will be
Yes.
constructing, right? Like a red and white. So because of
Okay.
that, so we will understand where the irregularities are. Did you say
Yes.
UV light before?
Yes, sir, you lied before.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
not sure,
Yeah.
but it may be used. But is it, or did you say by mistake?
No, so actually, I learned it in a YouTube video. Actually, I watched
Okay,
it in a YouTube video, and on that YouTube video, they were indicating it with help of animation,
okay,
and they said that after the cleaning, we use the UV light, and with the help of UV light, the cracks having area in which the dye is present, that area will lighten up.
okay. No problem. If it's okay, no problem.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Can you tell me Archimedes principle?
Yes, sir. Archimedes' principle state that whenever a body is wholly or partially immersed in water, an upward force will act on it, which will be equal to the amount of liquid displaced by the body.
Classification of pumps.
Classification. Sure, sir. The pump, basically from starting, pump can be classified in two stages, that is rotodynamic and positive displacement. In rotodynamic, there are further two types, that is centrifugal pump and axial flow pump. Now, talking about positive displacement pump, there are further two types, reciprocating and rotary. In reciprocating, there are vane type pump and piston type pump. In piston type pump, there are further two classification, that is single acting and double acting. Now coming to the rotary type of positive displacement pump, there are gear pump and screw pump. These are the classification of our pumps.
Okay, give me a minute. Okay, you said vane pump comes under reciprocating. Okay, that is wrong.
Mm,
Vane pump
okay,
doesn't come under reciprocating. It comes under rotary type, actually.
great.
Okay,
Sure, sure, sir.
okay,
I will check that.
you check that. Okay, Bernoulli's principle and application.
Sure, sir. Bernoulli's principle state that whenever liquid is in incompressible, steady, and flowing in a one direction, there will be the flow, its velocity will increase and pressure will decrease, keeping all of the energy constant, that is potential energy, kinetic energy, and potential pressure energy will remain constant. If we talk about the application of the Bernoulli's theorem, we can better understand it with the help of an example of an lifting of an aeroplane. As the aeroplane moves forward, the faster air will go from over the wing, and the slower air will go from under the wing. According to the Bernoulli's principle, air flowing from above the wing will create a faster air flowing from above the wing will generate a low pressure region, and slower air flowing under the wing will create a higher pressure region. Due to this pressure difference, there will be a lift of an aeroplane, and aeroplane will rise and float in air.
Can you draw the wall timing diagram of a four-stroke engine?
Yes, sir.
Actually, we'll do that at the last. Can you tell me the function of rocker arm, camshaft, and flywheel? Okay, one by one. Rocker arm.
Yes, sir. Talking about rocker arm, it is an important crucial component of an IC engine. Rocker arm is basically a lever in between the camshaft, cam lobes, and valve stem. Basically, as the camshaft rotates, it rotates the lobe, and as rotate are connected with the rocker arm, the upward and downward movement of the rocker arm occurs. It converts rocker arm to basically convert the rotary motion of camshaft into reciprocating motion of our balls. The main function of a rocker arm is to, as we discussed, to convert the rotary motion of camshaft into reciprocating motion of the ball. Um, it also the main function of rocker arm uh, is to give a gap, is to give a synchronized movement in between the camshaft and ball stem itself. Yeah, with the help of a rocker arm during the thermal expansion of our engine, we can maintain a gap in between the rocker arm and ball stem, increasing our efficiency. Also, with the help of rocker arm, due to uh, as it exert extra mechanical force, we can extend the wall lift of our inlet wall, increasing the efficiency of our IC engine.
Okay. Can you tell me the use of flywheel?
Yes, sir. Basically, flywheel is a device which is connected to the outer part of the IC engine on the crankshaft itself. It is a heavy disc. Basically, a uh, flywheel is used to give a stable power output from our crankshaft to the outer parts. As we know, in a four-stroke engine, a single stroke occurs after every two stroke of our crankshaft. Due to this, the irregularity of torques occur on our crankshaft. Then a flywheel sucks the excessive energy generated from the crankshaft, and it releases its energy whenever there will be needed. Um, and then I can say that flywheel stabilizes the power output of our IC engine.
Okay. Can you tell me the use of a governor?
Yes, sir. Governor is basically a device which measure and regulate the speed of our engine even during the variation of load. If there is a variation in load, the governor will provide excessive. If there load increase of on our engine, the governor will release the excessive charge in our cylinder. And if the speed be sorry and if the load on system becomes low, the governor will reduce the amount of charge which will be inlet into the system, resulting into accumulating, stabilizing the constant speed of our system even during changing in load. With the due to taking the constant speed of our system, it increases the overall efficiency of our system.
How efficiency?
Yes, sir. If there was no governor and there will be increase in load, the amount of charge, even if the load is increased or load is decreased, the amount of charge will remain same. If the load is decreased and we are using same amount of charge, then we are wasting our some of the amount of our charge,
Okay.
which can be used when there will be a higher amount of load.
Explain thermodynamic laws. All.
Yes, sir. First law of thermodynamics deals with the conservation of energy. It states that whenever there is the energy in system remain constant. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, and it can only be transformed from one form to another. The second law of thermodynamics deals with the higher and lower temperature differences. It says that energy can only move from higher temperature to lower temperature. Basically, in second law of thermodynamics, there are two statements, Clausius statement and Planck statement. Clausius statement state that energy can never be moved from lower part to higher part without the support of any external medium. And Planck statement state that there is no such device which can give us 100% efficiency. There always be some of the losses in our system.
Okay.
Then comes the third law of thermodynamics, which deals with the concept of absolute zero and ties the relation between entropy and temperature. It states that entropy of a perfect crystal will absolute zero if temperature becomes absolute zero.
Okay. Two things. Clausius statement, you can tell heat cannot be transferred from a like lower temperature to higher temperature. No, yeah, lower temperature to higher temperature without additional work. Okay.
Without this.
And you didn't say zeroth law of thermodynamics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basically, zeroth law said that if body A is in thermal equilibrium with body B and body B is in thermal equilibrium with body C, then body A will be in thermal equilibrium with body C.
What is tappet clearance?
Sure. The tappet clearance is a gap between rocker arm and wall stem itself. As we know, the exhaust gases has a high temperature. Due to having high temperature, the tappet clearance the tappet clearance of exhaust wall it should be more than that of inlet wall. Tappet clearance is required in our IC engine for in accordance by keeping in mind the thermal expansion of our material. Due to continuous operation, the thermal expansion will occur which will increase the some size of our wall stream, some size of our material. So, keeping that thermal expansion in mind, we keep the gap in between the rocker arm and wall stem. Also, the components can wear after the prolonged period of time. By keeping the component wearing in constant, we can always adjust the gap between the rocker arm and wall stem itself.
Okay. What is butt clearance?
Well, sir, bird clearance is a gap between the piston ring itself. Uh, as we during a continuous operation, the thermal expansion occurs. If there is a but with the help of bird clearance, the proper thermal insulation is given to our piston ring and during the continuous movement of our continuous operation of our engine with the help of butt clearance the piston ring the piston ring increases its life.
Okay. What happens if butt clearance is not given?
Sir, if butt clearance is not given to the piston ring during operation, if the heat as heat will increase due to thermal expansion. Due to thermal expansion, there will be a expansion in piston ring, and if but distance is not given, not properly given, there are chances that piston ring might break. And as the main function of piston ring is to provide the sealing, there are chances that gases might escape from combustion chamber to the outer part of our IC engine.
So because it breaks, we are giving the butt clearance.
Yes, sir. We are giving butt clearance by keeping in mind the term thermal expansion, which occurs when our engine gets heated up during the operation.
As per my knowledge, there is one more thing. Like if butt clearance is not given, this piston rings will expand into the cylinder liner. Okay. That is also one
Okay.
of the main importance of the bud clearance, because if that space is not there, no, it will expand outwards
Yes.
instead of that clearance area. So it will
Yes.
expand to the cylinder liner, which is not good. Friction will happen.
Oh,
So to
friction
avoid
will occur.
that also, you might do your research on that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain magnetic particle testing.
Yes, sir. In magnetic particle testing is actually a part of non-destructive type of testing. In magnetic particle testing, two electric poles are used in this testing. When electric poles are placed near the object, they generate the magnetic field on our object. If there are cracks or holes or flaws present in our system, as we pour the particle of iron on our system, due to flaws, the magnetic field will get disrupted and particle will accumulate the area where the flaws has been identified.
Can you tell me the difference between governor and flywheel?
Yes, sir. Well, basically, a governor is a device which controls the speed of our IC engine, and the flywheel is a device which is used to stabilize the energy output of our IC engine. Governor is basically used for a long period of time in our cycle, and flywheel is used whenever the our IC engine is in running condition. After that, governor deals with the inlet charge of our IC engine, and flywheel does not deals with the charge inlet of the IC engine. Governor is a light machine part, and when compared to the flywheel, which is a heavy machine part in our system.
Explain the working of marine exhaust turbocharger.
Sure, sir. Basically, marine exhaust turbocharger is used to increase the performance of our engine. Basically, if we want to generate more power from a constant volume of cylinder, we will be needing to burn more amount of fuel. And to burn more amount of fuel, we will be needing more amount of air with high density. So we use the exhaust gas which has a high temperature. The output of our exhaust gas will be connected to a turbine. The turbine will be connected to the compressor with the help of a shaft. As the exhaust gas comes, it operates the turbine. As turbine start to rotate, it rotates shaft and it further operates the compressor. Compressor sucks the air from our environment and converts it into the high temperature air. As we know, as it has converted the air into high temperature, it has the low density. So, in order to increase the density of our air, we will be needed to reduce the temperature of our air. To reduce the temperature, we use the air cooler, which uses the seawater to reduce our air temperature. After reduction of temperature of our air the reduce the air density will be increased. As the density is increased, it will increase the mass in our system. As it increase mass, increase density, air will be given to our cylinder. During combustion, it will burn more amount of fluid, resulting in fully burnout of our fluid, and it will increase the power output.
Can you tell me gear pump working?
Sure, sir. Basically, in gear pump, there are two gears given. Basically, a rotor gear which is connected to a shaft, and another one is follower gear, and they are mesh in and mesh out status with each other. During their operation, talking about first of all suction side, it gets occur at the mesh out when gear mesh out with from each other. Their volume at that location, the volume increases. And as we know, due to increase in volume, low pressure area gets generated into a region, and fluid flows from high pressure to lower pressure. Um, as fluid flows from higher pressure to lower pressure, it gets trapped between the gear tip and gets rotated to the discharge side. As fluid gets to the discharge side, due to meshing of the gear, the volume reduces. As the volume reduces, it increases the pressure. It increases the pressure of our fluid, and the discharge takes place with higher pressure.
Can you tell me the workshop tools and ships?
Sure, sir. In on ship, there are many tools which are used on a workshop. Basically, talking about handy tools, there are hammers, plier, files, wrenches, screwdriver. These are some of the handy tool. After the handy tool, there can be some of the electric tool like drill machine, hacksaw machine, electric grinder. These are some of the electric tools. After there are some of the measuring tools also like vernier caliper, measuring tape, micrometer, the pressure gauge. These are some of the measuring tools. There are some of the electrical tools also like uh, electrical soldering machine, electrical cutter machine, cutters. These are some of the tools which we use on our machine, on our ship.
Can you tell me the parts of three-phase induction motor along with its working?
Uh, yes, sir. Three-phase induction motor, basically, it is a device which converts the electrical energy into mechanical energy. For that, it has multiple important components, starting with a stator, that is a stationary part. In stator, there are main two parts, that is stator core and stator winding. Stator core is made up of a laminated silicon sheet, and stator winding is made up of insulated wire, which are wounded over 120 degree of each 120 degree with each other. Then comes the rotor. The rotor has its rotor core and rotor winding. The rotor core again is a laminated sheet, and rotor winding are wounded on this rotor cage. The rotor cage can be of spiral type cage also. After that, there is a air gap in between the rotor and stator for the interaction of our magnetic field. After the air gap, there will be housing, which is outer body of our three-phase induction motor, which will protect the induction motor from outside surrounding. There will be a bearing which is installed on which the rotor can be installed, with the help of which the rotor will have its smooth rotating movement. There will be a terminal blocks which will provide the connection from outer part and from our input to the induction motor with three-phase winding of induction motor. And there will be a cooling fan given at the end of our three-phase induction motor to reduce the temperature of our induction motor during the operation. These are some of the important parts of our three-phase induction motor. Talking about working of our three-phase induction motor, as a three-phase supply is given to the stator winding, it will generate a rotating magnetic field as the winding are wounded 120 degree with each other. As the rotating magnetic field is generated, as it gets in contact with a rotor winding, it will generate it will generate the induced EMF. It will generate the induced electromagnetic field in rotor. Due to this induced EMF, there will be a induced current will generate in rotor winding. Due to this induced current, there will be a magnetic field of rotor itself. As this magnetic field of rotor gets in contact, interact with the rotating magnetic field, there will be a generation of torque, which will rotate our rotor, and our magnetic field of rotor will always try to catch the rotating magnetic field, hence increasing the torque on our rotor, and rotor will keep moving.
How does self-start work in your bike?
Sure, sir. As we press the self-start switch on our bike, the current from our batteries flows to the solenoid valve. It engages the pinion wheel to the electric motor, and as the electric motor rotates, it rotates the pinion wheel, and as pinion wheel is connected to the crankshaft itself, flywheel itself, it rotates the flywheel, and flywheel is connected to the crankshaft, and they start to rotate the crankshaft. Simultaneously, the current is also sent to the ignition coil. Ignition coil, as the input current to ignition coil has merely the 12 volts. Ignition coil increases this 12-volt current to 20,000 to 30,000 volts of current, and it sends it to the spark plug. At the end of the spark plug, there is a mere gap of 0.6 to 0.9 mm. Due to this gap, there will be a generation of spark on at end of our spark plug, uh, generating a combustion in our engine. And with combustion in our engine will start to rotate.
Why is sky blue in color?
So basically, as sunlight comes in Earth atmosphere due to small particles scatter in our Earth atmosphere, the sunlight gets scattered into multiple colors. Uh, but out of those multiple colors, the blue color has the shortest wavelength, all of them. And due to the sensitivity of our eyes, we tend to see blue color most of the time. That's the reason the sky appears in blue color.
Can you tell me how electricity is generated?
Where's
Like in general, how is electricity generated?
how electricity is generated. Well, basically, we have talked about alternator itself.
Okay,
Uh,
so you understood
as
its
we,
alternator. Okay. Mm,
yes,
okay. What is the voltage of spark plug?
sir, as we discussed during the starting of our press button, the spark plug has a voltage of up to 20,000 to 30,000 generated with the help of ignition coil.
Okay. What is Gaussian pin?
Sir, Gajan pin is installed in between the cylinder head and piston rod itself to connect both of them and actuate and transfer the motion of piston head to the piston rod.
Okay. That's it for your mock interview, Naresh. Overall, I think your communication is good and your knowledge of topics is also good. I wish you all
Yes,
the
sir.
best for your interview with Rishi Rana sir, hopefully.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.